Bonsoir, j'espère que vous allez bien. On se retrouve pour Final Fantasy XVI. Et on va faire... attendez. On va faire quelques quêtes annexes aujourd'hui. On en a quelques-unes ici. Ce qu'on va faire, c'est qu'on va les faire comme ça, on verra, ça nous mène. On va les faire dans cet ordre, dans l'ordre où on les voit arriver.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Ok.
Nazir might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I'm nervous. Is it alright to be nervous?
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's savior, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine curse breaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
Je sais pas ce qui va se passer avec lui.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
Oh god, c'est loin. On n'a pas déjà été... On n'est pas déjà allé. C'est là où il la tourne. Je sais pas pourquoi j'ai dans la flemme de me déplacer. Les gens voulaient que ça soit un monde ouvert. Juste la flemme d'aller quelque part. Alors que c'est pas très loin. C'est là qu'on a... Ou pas.
Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
C'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Ah merde, je croyais que c'était le soldat qui se battait avec nous, mais j'avais oublié qu'il y avait Joshua.
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? Pretty fair.
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Hey? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then as heir. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
should have...
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer his fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
Couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things rarely do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Maintenant, il nous donne des récompenses qui n'ont rien à voir avec ce qu'on est en train de faire.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Ok, ça c'est pas. Ok, c'était ça. C'était donc ça à ça que ça servait.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by Akashic. I need to hurry.
C'est moi ou ça a absolument rien fait? Il s'occupait des autres trucs tout seul pendant que je faisais autre chose. C'est parfait.
guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the wardens...
Excusez-moi.
If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be...
Toujours mes moucherons de merde.
Don't give up hope just yet.
Ça s'en va et ça revient. Je sais pas d'où ils sortent.
Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
C'est relou.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Parce qu'il y en a... J'arrive à m'en débarrasser. Il y en a plus pendant un petit moment et pouf, ça revient. C'est relou.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life.
Caution. Go to him. Get him. Too slow.
Salissant est une prison militaire d'outils d'entreposés et pourvoyeurs capturés par les forces valodoises. À l'intérieur comme à l'extérieur des frontières de notre beau royaume, sa mission principale est d'encadrer, d'entraîner et d'éduquer le monstre commandant que nous avons nommé Bête de Cousa, qui vous a pris d'opérer dans la plus stricte confidentialité. Les pourvoyeurs jugés dans cet établissement militaire ne peuvent servir qu'à entraîner les Bêtes de Cousa. Toute autre utilisation devrait être validée au préalable par un membre du personnel encadrant.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Salut EGS. EGS? EGS?
All yours, Torgal.
Le 11 commando Vadakusa est un élément plus féroce que les autres, ce qui nous permet d'espérer en tirer des résultats remarquables en l'utilisant comme une arme. Malheureusement, son attitude à décerner ses alliés de ses ennemis lors des entraînements rend difficile son incorporation aux troupes valodoises. En revanche, le monstre pourrait très bien intégrer un corps de pourvoyeurs si cela permet d'éliminer les troupes ennemies. Inutile de préciser que les pourvoyeurs n'y suivraient cependant pas. Non, je suis pas fort du tout. C'est de la chance. C'est parce qu'ils sont faciles ceux-là, et que je suis beaucoup de niveaux d'avance. Sinon, c'est pas... Dans le contexte où les ressources viennent à manquer considérablement, la bête de Cousa n'est plus nourrie convenablement. Un incident s'est ainsi produit. Affamé, notre monstre commando s'est déchaîné et a dévoré la totalité des pourvoyeurs que nous avions placés en tant qu'alliés à ses côtés. Le monstre a semble-t-il retrouvé son calme après s'être joyeusement délecté de ceci. Sa présence alimentaire serait ainsi plus curieuse que nous ne l'imaginions, mais cela nous a permis de découvrir une nouvelle inutilité aux pourvoyeurs. Nous autorisons donc à servir à la bête de Cousa les individus qui n'est plus nécessaire d'héberger ici. Bah écoute ça, merci. Il y avait un truc de l'autre côté. Je sais pas si... Ok, donc on peut plus y aller. C'est relou. Peut-être que c'était juste un truc qui disait « Oh, je peux pas aller là ». La musique est pas très rassurante quand même.
Caution, brother. All yours, Torvald. Attack! Over here!
Pourquoi on peut faire... Ok. Je sais pourquoi on peut venir ici. Le truc avait strictement aucun intérêt. Bon, il y avait un coffre quand même. Non.
All yours, Torvald.
Non, ok. J'ai cru qu'il y avait un truc par terre, en fait, c'est juste l'icône pour caresser le chien.
No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't, or couldn't, were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Ok. Donc on a quoi? On a la clé de la porte en bas. Merde. Ok. Je trouve pas l'ascenseur. Je suis pas sûr qu'ils aient un ascenseur. Ok, donc c'est la porte de tout à l'heure en fait. Où il aurait sûrement dit oh, il me faut une clé pour l'ouvrir. Il a une drôle de façon d'ouvrir les portes avec des clés. En général, je fais plus que poser la clé. Personnellement, quand j'ouvre une porte. Fermer la clé. On va sauvegarder peut-être parce que si je meurs, je sais pas où le jeu va me remettre. Et je me sens pas vraiment de...
Survivor. And she sounds close.
C'est suspect.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards, they're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Putain de moucheron de merde.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground. I'll look after the girl. You teach that thing a lesson.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Je suis censé passer par où? Par là. C'est que...
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Oh god.
It's over.
Ouf. On a eu chaud.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
J'aime bien comme il réagit comme s'il n'y avait pas Joshua avec lui.
I think.
Qu'est-ce qui est resté Chadwick?
No.
C'est le livre préféré de Chadwick.
Diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
Je pense.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from
J'aime
that
bien comme
ordeal.
si un moment plus tard, il dit,
She
ça
is.
fait plusieurs jours que tu...
Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't,
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
there's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the curse breakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Ok, donc ça c'est fait. Maintenant... Oh, on a des chasses. Ok, donc lui c'est fait, on a lui. Je suis curieux. Est-ce que ça veut dire qu'il faut qu'on revienne au geôle? On va y aller en courant cette fois, on va essayer d'éviter les combats.
hide from here.
Peut-être sauvegarder avant. Juste au cas où. Comment je suis rentré tout à l'heure? C'est pas lui du coup? Ok. Je pensais que c'était lui, ça me paraissait logique. Tu sais, il est peut-être caché à l'étage. Visiblement non, mais on sait jamais. Je sais pas où il est censé être. Je vais regarder. sais plus comment il s'appelait. Ah, je sais ce que je vais faire. Je vais regarder la VOD. Pas la VOD. Je vais remonter un petit peu sur YouTube. Monarque affranchi. Monarque affranchi, il est... Apparemment il est vers là. Comment j'aurais su moi, ça? Est-ce que le truc il dit juste... Pas grand chose. C'est ce truc là? On va tout sauvegarder. Ça peut pas être pire que... J'ai même pas vu que j'avais plus de vie du tout. Ça fait un peu beaucoup quoi. Oh god. Je suis un peu déçu. Combien de temps qu'on est... 1 heure. Surtout fais comme si ton frère était pas là du jeu. Retournons au refuge. On va aller faire des courses. J'ai regardé au niveau de la forge si on a ce qu'il nous faut.
Courage, be freed. My decision is made.
Vous demandez jusqu'au provenance, c'est ce même si je dois laisser la vie. Merci, Sir Diane.
You said it yourself.
Ultima m'a appris tant de choses, il cherche à infliger une souffrance encore plus grande au peuple qui est innocent. Il faut l'arrêter, je ne vois pas d'alternative. Et je suis prêt à tout cela pour ça. J'admire votre courage, Sir Diane. À vrai dire, je ne suis pas complètement serein, mais il est temps d'agir, je réfléchirai quand nous serons revenus.
I await your word.
Still alive, are ya?
Ne foncez pas tête baissée, prenez le temps de nous préparer correctement. Ne faites pas de bêtises comme d'autres ont pu faire avant vous. Vous devez nous revenir sains et saufs.
Thank you, Karen.
Merci pour tout, Dame Karen. Allons, vous êtes bien émotif tout à coup. Écoutez, je n'ai pas besoin de vos remerciements. Tâchez simplement de ne pas mourir ou vous allez me faire perdre ma principale source de revenus. Bref, je ne sais pas quelle est la nature de la créature que vous allez affronter. Mais si vous comptez vraiment la mettre hors d'état de nuire, il va falloir réfléchir très sérieusement à la façon dont vous allez vous y prendre. Clive, je sais que vous en reviendrez en tout cas, vous le devez. Nous vous attendrions ici plein d'espoir. C'est un peu bizarre.
It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all?
Crack the crystal.
Prochain objectif, le gros truc dans le ciel. L'ennemi se trouve donc là-haut. C'est l'idée.
Oh, very good one.
On ne parle plus d'exploser un cristal mer là, il s'agit d'aller combattre un dieu.
But then,
Plus rien ne m'étonne avec toi de toute façon. Je ne peux rien faire de plus que de forger ton équipement. Compte sur toi pour qu'on ait tous une place sur cette terre. C'est bien pour ça que je me bats. Reviens-nous entier.
so what it be?
Qu'est-ce qu'il me manque pour faire Donc un aurical qui a un minerai de sombre acier.
Anything else?
Donc il doit normalement y avoir un minimum de... deux contrats de chasse.
You alright? About that.
Ça y est, tu vas bientôt le mettre une raclée à ce fichu dieu de Patwati. Si je peux faire quelque chose pour t'aider, dis-le surtout. J'ai une chose à te demander, de me remplacer en tant que Cid pendant mon absence.
Aye.
T'es sérieux? Là je t'ai déjà dit, je suis pas fait pour les responsabilités. C'est vrai, tu l'as dit. Si je dois prendre un pseudobite, je trouve un truc encore plus classe que Cid le renégat alias Monsieur Beaurôle.
Let's see.
Attends, je réfléchis. Gab le magnifique, l'espion venu du Nord, ou encore Gab le grand frère. Tu me conseillerais lequel? À toi de décider, Gab, du moment que c'est un nom indigne du bras droit de Cid. Digne du bras droit de Cid. Je dis en rien d'ici la fin de notre combat, tu veux bien? Je trouve un nom digne de votre duo, tu verras.
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day now. And I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Ok.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need. A feather.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs.
What are you after? Fare thee well.
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean...
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Viceroy.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Can I help you with summer?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Father's idea it was to take those bearers away to Eastport. As my plan.
Look, Daddy. It's shining so brightly.
Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo. Near some gutted hovel, not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's Ride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here.
Ok, je vois aussi. Merde, je pensais qu'on pouvait se téléporter là. On pourrait peut-être lui donner une plume de notre chocobo. Il est pas argenté, mais...
Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change. More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend.
Donc il aurait pu très bien donner une plume de son chocobo.
Thank you. Let's get this back together before they change their minds.
Je pense qu'on va peut-être jouer encore 20 minutes, 30 minutes. On se garde des trucs à faire.
It was no trouble at all.
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
Crystals crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Now will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
I don't want Gav to give up being a scout, honest.
Yes, my lord?
Parler de la finale. Alors vous allez bientôt partir pour la provenance, n'est-ce pas? Oui, Joshua et moi allons nous y rendre ensemble. Je n'ose imaginer l'inquiétude que vous éprouvez pour lui, je ferai tout pour le protéger, c'est promis. Vous êtes son gardien, alors je sais qu'il est entre de bonnes mains. Pour ma part, je veillerai sur les habitants de ce repère. Ne vous inquiétez pas pour eux et concentrez-vous sur le combat final. Je vous en prie, revenez sains et saufs, c'est tout ce que je désire. Parler de Joshua. Lorsque nous voyageons ensemble, il a beaucoup discuté avec son Altesse. Il y a une phrase qu'il répétait souvent. Il disait « Un chemin balisé par le devoir ne mène pas à la liberté ». Je pensais qu'il se plaignait de sa propre situation, parce qu'il s'est retrouvé à voyager par monts et par vaux sans pouvoir prendre le repos, mais je me trompais. Je finis par comprendre qu'il voulait parler de moi. C'était pour ça qu'il m'a envoyé ici, par égard pour moi, pour que je goûte à cette liberté qui lui est si chère. J'ai grandi au sein des alliés ardentes et j'ai toujours vécu selon nos principes, mais son Altesse voulait me montrer une autre façon de vivre. Je suis touché qu'il se soit montré si prévenant envers une simple servante. Il pense toujours aux autres plus qu'à lui-même, et c'est pour ça que je choisis de lui obéir.
I prithee do not risk yourself unduly.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is...
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did, aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, my lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a split off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced.
C'est bizarre, des fois ils te font marcher pour aller à un endroit, des fois ils te font pas marcher. Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils n'ont pas dit Vas-y, va marcher jusque-là pour faire. Alors qu'ils nous ont dit vas-y, va marcher jusque-là pour aller à l'infirmerie.
Don't you think you've had enough?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
What?
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
Ah, you know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout?
Yeah.
Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room.
Hmm.
And your sword. I may have had one too many.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
Oh.
He'll come back.
On n'est pas parti encore. On fait encore un autre, je pense. Du coup, il nous en restera 3, mais je sais pas si celui-ci c'est pas un rapport avec les autres. Il nous reste pas mal de trucs, hein. Je sais pas si c'est parce que j'ai loupé des choses ou si c'est parce que chaque quête va nous donner quelque chose ici, mais... Alors, c'est bientôt l'heure du grand départ. Oui, mon oncle. J'admire ton courage, tu n'as jamais fui devant ton destin. Ton père était comme ça, lui aussi, et moi je suis fier de t'avoir comme neveu. Merci, mon oncle, je vais tout faire pour me montrer digne de tes paroles. Tout ce qui m'importe, c'est que Joshua et toi reveniez vivants. En attendant, je m'occupe de tout ici-bas. Je compte sur toi.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved. But such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are 2 key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies, and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No. Thank you, Clive.
Ici. C'est où la douane? Putain, c'est là-bas. C'est loin.
Ambrosia won't help me here.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop.
I'm scared.
It's all right. I'm here.
C'est vrai qu'ils sont plus ou moins au premier plan. Premier plan. Au premier rang.
Fly, Ambrosia. Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
On a presque gagné un niveau.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question.
Ooh.
What do you stand to gain from all this?
Pas grand-chose.
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
C'est un tour du monde de tous nos amis.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Je sais pas si c'est la fin du coup. De cette quête.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Ok, ça me va.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. They'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. Ah, but I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends? I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Ok, donc... Oh putain. Presque. Ok, donc ça c'est fait. Donc, mercredi, il nous restera ces deux trucs-là. Ce truc-là, je sais pas si c'est le même. Et ensuite, on a un truc ici. Pardon, deux. On a deux ici. Et... Ok, c'est les mêmes. Et un là. On verra si on arrive à faire tout ça vendredi. Mercredi. Ah, on a mercredi et vendredi. Ok, on verra. Parce qu'après, potentiellement, vendredi, ce qu'on pourra essayer de faire, c'est essayer de retrouver les... Si on a fait toutes les quêtes. Soit de finir les quêtes qu'on n'aura pas fini. Soit essayer de faire les épreuves. On verra. Oh bah ouais, je vais sauvegarder. Je commence à être fatigué. Bref. Donc on s'arrête là pour aujourd'hui. On se retrouve mercredi pour plus de quêtes annexes. En espérant que dimanche on puisse faire qu'on ait le temps de faire la fin. On verra. En tout tout cas, je sais pas en fait, le truc, je sais pas si une fois qu'on a fini, on peut continuer à faire les trucs qu'on avait fini. On verra. En bref, je vous souhaite tous une bonne soirée, bonne nuit. Et je vous dis à mercredi.